Hi, I'm Supermoon Tarot, and in today's video, I'm talking to my Aries. How you doing, Aries? The way this video is going to work is the first half of it is going to be connecting to Aries energy and the story behind that, and then the second half is connecting to Aries and a second person, the energy behind that, and the story behind that. Now, this is primarily for my sun signs. However, if it's a moon or rising sign, that's all that matters. It's all about connecting and resonating with a message. So let's get started with the energy going on. I'm being told to pull 2 cards, and I do all my shuffling off screen because I'm a very slow shuffler. And also I want to save time. Okay. Oh, I'm very curious what the story is behind this, because when we have the Intention Oracle card in reverse, this is when our spirit guides and the universe are checking in with us and saying, hey, the intentions you have when pursuing this person or thing, they seem kind of foggy. And this pops up not because you have ill intentions, but it's more like, are you trying to achieve this goal at the cost of even yourself and your own happiness, which is truly ironic and a catch-22 when I'm sure you're pursuing this thing for what you think will give you happiness. This is kind of them, your spirit guides in the universe stepping in and going, maybe you want to rethink that. Especially when we have the details oracle card in reverse. This is all about perfectionism. This could be the very thing that's messing up the intentions there. And it's like I'm almost getting more of a vibe that it's less like what you want and more the way you're approaching it. Because the details oracle card lovingly says, you're never going to be happy with a perfectionist mindset, because perfectionism implies that it's never done, because we're always truly evolving. And it's that idea of like, be here now. Perfectionism talks about being in the future. It's always going to be out of your reach, which is a super uncomfortable and not the natural way we're supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? So let's look into the story of what's going on here, because that is such uncomfortable energy. There's a lot of pursuing it. I feel a lot of intensity behind it, wanting this thing, almost like a no, that's not true kind of vibe. But let's understand where it's coming from. Oh! Okay, who has not been here before? I totally can relate to this. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the King of Swords in reverse here and the Devil card upright. So the King of Swords is that perfectionist quality coming in. It's when you're kind of controlling a lot, but not, this is the key part, not controlling other people, controlling yourself. It's like when you're making decisions, there's decisions you're choosing and routines you're following and being like, I should do this instead of that because you feel it will better you. You're not allowing yourself to have a freer reign and just sometimes be spontaneous. It's not even about spontaneity. It's about there's a box you're creating for yourself and you're like, nope, you're not going to go outside this box. It's a lot of restriction you're putting on yourself. And I feel for that. That's why I'm really sad when I see the Devil card, because this is how this sort of attitude you're putting upon yourself is coming across as a regular unhealthy habit you unfortunately are plagued with. This is when it's the Devil card, it's like an unhealthy habit where it's like binging too much and then restricting too much. I always find this card pops up when there is a void in your heart that you are trying to fulfill. So you're subconsciously trying to take care of yourself and do the right thing by figuring out some sort of habit or concept or idea. And in this case, it's about you're thinking you're bettering yourself in some sort of way. But unfortunately, the more you do this, the less, it's almost like I don't want to say the hole gets bigger, but it's like it never adds up to anything, because that's not the thing that's going to solve the problem. In fact, actually, it's a distraction that's impeding your ultimate goal of ultimately solving whatever's causing the void and then truly filling it up or, clearing it out or diving in. There's so many abstract ways you can go about with the void. The void sometimes isn't always something you need to plug up, if you know what I mean. So this is all being rooted with the Magician card in reverse. I can see that you're suffering from imposter syndrome, and that is just, I'm so sorry. That is not a fun feeling. it's weirdly a compliment, because I often find when the imposter syndrome pops up in the Magician card in reverse, this is when you actually are doing a better job than you're giving yourself credit for. Like, a lot of people are believing what you're offering. You know, if you're a magician, they think you really can do the magic and tricks, and you're just focusing so much on the fact that it's all an act, if that makes sense. And you're not giving yourself credit, and you're beating yourself up, and you constantly feel like you're out of the loop of your own story. Wow, Spirit just really took a hold on that one. And this is what's causing you to feel like, well, I'll fix the problem by, ironing out here and being a little more rigorous with my routine here. And it's not adding up in a way that's going to help. Now, the thing that's really interesting we have over here is the Four of Swords and the Tower card. The Tower card is representing the change, the drastic change that needs to happen with this unhealthy habit of controlling yourself, controlling the situation, the details, the intentions. It's just a thing that's needing to be gotten rid of for some time. You are getting a bit of a warning, I'll be honest with you, that it's a change that needs to happen no matter what. It's a serious change. But if you don't actively try to work on it and try to improve, you don't have to improve overnight, there are going to be some consequences. It's think of it like you're so focused to getting to the top of the tower, you're not aware that the tower's on fire. You know what do you get what I'm saying here? So we get a little bit of good guidance going on here, and and this is my favorite type of guidance because it's really easy. It essentially says over here in the Four of Swords upright, take a break, relax. This card literally represents sleeping, taking a nap, doing nothing. Sometimes doing nothing is the ultimate answer. In fact, actually, I highly recommend, just to contemplate, maybe read something to do, looking into Taoism. Taoism is the art of nothingness and the idea that the universe is in this natural flow, and when we try to force things or make things happen by a certain time or how we want it to happen, we're going against the universe, and that the universe knows our ultimate good, and by doing nothing, it truly will all work out, because we will kind of sit back, really let the universe take its wheel, let it actually happen faster, because a lot of the things that we're doing are slowing the process down, and it's just some food for thought to consider that might make taking a break, if you're in a mindset of wanting things to be more beneficial, you can say to yourself, well, I'm actually benefiting the long-term goal and the person I want to reach and have, and so on and so forth. Like, I'll get it by chilling out. But also, this definitely pops up when we're not thinking clearly, so we need a little bit of a break from it. It also pops up, I will say, I'm very happy that it's upright, not reverse, because when it's in reverse, it's a bit of a threat. It's like saying, if you don't take a break, the universe is going to make you take a break. And this can pop up in forms of, feeling like sick at an inconvenient time and stuff like that. That's not the case for you. You're fine. You still have plenty of time to, chill out, step back, take a break from all of this. But it is something to consider. So let's actually look into this other person. I wonder if they're involved with this. Let's look at the energies going on here. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got more of that energy leaking over in this other person. I'm being told for a lot of you this is a partner that you're currently with. I'm definitely connecting to a lot of people who have they've been with their partner for a while, but this is a general reading, so we'll just, it's everybody. So anyways, going over here, we're looking at the Temperance card in reverse. So this is exactly what we were talking about, this sense of emotional imbalance. But this is the type of emotional balance that comes across as really, high highs and then really low lows. And it's super uncomfortable for the person struggling with this because they're trying to get it sorted. But when they feel really good, they think, oh, well, everything's going great. I think I've solved the problem. And little do they know, if something doesn't go wrong or they kind of, get fixated again on the perfection of something, all of a sudden it just comes crashing down in a way they weren't prepared for, essentially. And then unfortunately we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords can be interpreted in a couple different ways next to the Temperance card. I mean, this can just straight up represent you being hard on yourself, but I'm getting more of a vibe of I just don't feel like you're fighting with your partner. Because the Queen of Swords is somebody who's incredibly, like, she can be really mean with her words because she's so incredibly honest and intelligent. But I want you to consider the cat by her feet and the way the cards are presenting themselves. It's almost like you're in this relationship and this is the sort of energy coming out in the relationship. So I'm just being told like there isn't this intense fighting, but there's something boiling under the surface due to this struggle you're going with. But again, back to the cat. Cats are fantastic because they can naturally stretch their aura out way farther than humans can. And they have a natural, like, they don't even have to try to, they suck in bad energy and they give out good energy to us. So they're fantastic to have around, especially if you're struggling emotionally in some way. And I think it's interesting this card pops up with the cat popping up specifically because it's our little hint and clue of like these words that might be vicious in the moment potentially with your partner. I have to look at the story to see specifics, but when this fight comes out, you're just trying to protect yourself by expecting the worst, so you kind of beat yourself to the punch. Do you see what I'm saying here? It's something that deserves a lot of love and care, and you're not meaning to. You're just trying, your subconscious is trying to do what's best for you. But it's a very uncomfortable place to be. And I feel for you, and I'm really curious because like I feel like I'm not getting specifics on the partner quite yet, because again, this just feels like it's both you and it's just more an environment you and the partner are in. I use that term lightly because this still can relate to, friends, family. Yeah, I'm still getting more of a partner thing because, okay, so this makes much more sense why there's this sense of like fighting and impatience and boiling under the surface for you personally. When we have this over here, it seems like the person you're with is kind of like, sitting back. They are taking a break. They feel no need to rush. Really comfortable with being leisurely. I can see they're very successful financially, so they feel confident in what they can create in the world, especially financially, and they're just kind of sitting back and relaxing, and they're like, oh, if I can't do anything right now, I'm meant to just kind of chill out. An opportunity will present itself later. In a way that is just the complete opposite of where you're at right now. And sometimes when we're around that sort of energy, when we feel more frantic, the more calm someone is, the more we want to explode a little bit. So it's this feeling of like, okay, I'm struggling and you seem like you're thriving, but it's not about you being jealous of them. It's this frustration of the speed element. You're up and down and bubbling and boiling and trying to process all of this, and you have a lot of you mean to have good intentions, but you're not seeing the clear goal, and you're expecting so much of yourself, and then your partner's just kind of like easy going. Oh my goodness, my neighbors are so loud. Sorry, hopefully that didn't come through. Anyways, going back to what we're saying. But I have happy news to report that in the Five of Pentacles in reverse, this indicates that yes, there is a problem, but this problem has a large chance of being resolved. However, this is a kind of an indicator that if it isn't resolved soon, it can become a bigger issue in the long run. This is the kind of thing you don't want to sit and become, because you don't want it to become like a defining trait of what's going on between the two of you. Because on one hand, if they're always super calm and they just can't relate to you and they're maybe not making the effort, I do want to point out, I don't at all get the vibe that they don't care. So if it seems like in their actions they don't care, they work a different way. They're slower. They want to be at peace, I don't get the vibe that they're not into you. You see what I'm saying? But what you need right now, and this is just some food for thought, is not something they can offer. This is a journey to change some perspectives and lighten your own emotional and expectation load on yourself. But it is still about fixing what's going on with you and then telling your partner, hey, it would be great if you were a little more jazzed and maybe helped out a little bit when I'm struggling in this kind of way. But there is an opportunity to communicate, change both like belief system wise, what needs to be worked out, how can you guys compromise together and then overcome it, which I'm really excited about, because that leads to two positive affirmations. One, this definitely refers to our sacral chakra, if you know what I'm saying. So there's going to be some fun zestiness in the future, if you will, and it will kind of go from this really slow, stagnant energy to this like sort of fiery element between the two of you, with kind of just like the excitement of being together, the goals you have. Like, you'll no longer feel like two separate people, but feel like you're striving for the same thing together. You'll feel excited to take on tackle obstacles together. You'll just feel excited to like, oh, maybe we can go when we have more opportunities and more things are open, we could go try this and this and this. And ultimately, we have the Chariot card, not only double confirming that there was some sort of issue between the two of you, but the overall victory that everything's going to be okay, and that all is good. You'll actually be better off for all of this. It's kind of like it was meant to get difficult to bring these issues to light in order for not only you to work on your own personal stuff, but to feel a better connection and understand your partner better and vice versa, them to you. So not too bad at all. I'm so sorry that you're struggling and it's beautiful that you want so much for yourself, but be kinder to yourself. And it's so hard because I definitely feel like when you make that initial transition, you'll feel like, I don't want to say weak, but you'll feel like you're not doing as much. You know what I mean? When you are just as strong and you are accomplishing more. But consider this. This is my last little piece, food for thought, with the details coming up. As you force something to happen and you're over micromanaging it, you could get, and I say this from personal experience myself, you can get a lot more done doing one little thing every day consistently for a longer period of time than getting really excited about a project, trying to make it happen, overthinking it, then deciding not to post it because it's not good enough. Do you see what I'm saying here? So what might feel like you're stepping back and not accomplishing as much, you actually will accomplish way more in the long term. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. And I'm excited for you and your partner to better understand each other and for you to feel better overall. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out like you would not believe. Have a lovely day. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And yeah, bye.